Well, we're at the Canadian International Auto Show at the Ford display looking at the updated 2025 Explorer, one of the best sellers in the three-row SUV space.
So this gets a refresh for 2025, including an updated exterior, updated interior with more soft touch materials, updated technology, available BlueCruise on this model. And also this is the first model that gets the Ford Digital Experience, which is a new software system where you can easily download all your favorite apps.
All right, so on the outside, they didn't change what has been successful for them. The Explorer is a good-looking vehicle, and it was one of the first and really started the trend of what Land Rover and Range Rover have done with putting the script on the front of the hood. Explorer was kind of early into that game. Now everybody does that, but I would say it's a nice-looking rig.
So we're standing in front of the ST model. It's got a real sporty look to it. Ford has actually really cleaned up its trims for 2025, now offering only 4, and the hybrid is also gone. They've eliminated that powertrain.
Well, that powertrain really wasn't that efficient because it was a V6 hybrid system and it didn't get great fuel economy. Their base engine is a 4-cylinder turbo, and this one is the 3-liter 6-cylinder turbo, which is the high performance one. So that hybrid was kind of out of step.
I really like the look of the Explorer. It's always had that boxy, rugged design, and this refresh model is no different. It does have a larger grille. As Zach mentioned, the Explorer is spelled out across the front. It has a sleeker LED headlamp, LED fog lights, wider air curtains, and an available black roof. The rear has new LED tail lamps, and the Explorer is spelled out across the back. There are a variety of new wheel designs and sizes ranging from 18-inch to 21-inch.
Now, all Explorers except this ST model come with the 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder and a 10-speed automatic transmission. 300 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. This is the ST model, as we mentioned, with the 3-liter twin-turbo V6, an impressive 400 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. This V6 powertrain is also available in the Platinum model. Ford also went on to tweak the 10-speed automatic transmission to make it smoother. In the United States, there's rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive models. In Canada, standard all-wheel drive. As is the case with most in this class, with the tow package, the Explorer can tow 5,000 pounds.
Now, the biggest changes really come to the interior of the 2025 Explorer. You can see right away that it's got a larger touchscreen, a standard 13.2-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto and Alexa built in. It also has a standard 12.3-inch digital driver display. A huge difference for us is all the soft touch materials that are being used. Take a look at the fabric on here. This is soft. This is soft down here. You've got a nice textured piece for the trim. Even the inside of the doors, there's very little hard plastic being used. The other model, I thought it was a little bit plastic fantastic, so this is definitely an improvement for the Explorer. It feels more upscale. Ford says they've used different textures in here. There's more available color options. We've got the rotary dial here, which we're used to from most Ford models. There's plenty of storage here. This is quite deep. You've got your 2 cup holders. I like where they've put the wireless charging pad just underneath the touch screen. And if you look at this screen, it just looks more streamlined in here. You'll probably remember that the old ST model had a vertical screen. Now this is horizontal, and it just looks more balanced. Ford actually pushed the dash forward to make the cabin feel more open for the driver and passenger. I also really like the Explorer writing here on the dash. This has a B&O sound system. You can see the speakers in here. You've got a dual panoramic sunroof. As I mentioned earlier, one of the big things is the Ford Digital Experience. This is the first Ford to get it, so you're able to download your apps and have some of your favorites in the vehicle. Of course, when it's parked, users can watch videos, stream content, and access a web browser. Google Play games will be offered, including some that connect with a Bluetooth-enabled controller. As an example, this is playing a video here. Look how crisp and clean the screen is. Now there is a volume knob, but things like heated and ventilated front seats, all that is done in the screen. You do have your drive modes at the center console, so you don't have to go into the screen to change those modes. And I also really like this storage under here. It's actually quite deep. You've got USB connections in here, and actually there are USB connections in all 3 rows. Here's the good news. A bench seat is offered on every trim of the Ford Explorer. We're happy to hear this. I think this is important for the Explorer because it is a 7-passenger vehicle, and once you add captain's chairs, this becomes a 6-passenger. I think people who want a 3-row SUV want at least 7 seats. I really like the texture of these seats. You've got the two-tone with the Alcantara. I do find that the floor, it does sit up a little bit higher here, so if you are climbing into the 3rd row, you will find that there's a slight lack of headroom here. These seats move fore and aft. Also, I like that they recline a little bit. Actually feels quite comfortable. I would say that the seats feel pretty plush. I mean, they aren't hard at all. I think that you'll really enjoy them. They are heated rear seats for the captain's chairs. Now there is no center console here, obviously, with cup holders, but Ford did add them in the door here. And of course the door pockets, you can put bottles, and you could even put a coffee in there. You just got to be careful with it. Of course, there's air vents here, and there's also air vents in the 3rd row, which is a nice feature for a 3-row SUV. Let's move to the 3rd row, see how I fit. I actually like that this is a 2-passenger in the 3rd row. There's just more space. Like I said, the floor does sit up a bit higher, so I can feel that my legs are up a bit in the 3rd row, which is pretty typical of 3-row SUVs. I have put the seat where it was fairly comfortable for me in the 2nd row, and I have a little bit of room. I'm almost 5'7". I have longer legs than what my torso is, so it's not bad. But if you have a taller person in that 2nd row, this seat's going to move back, and it might be a little bit cramped for somebody who is a little bit taller back here. I would say it's fairly comfortable. I could sit in here for a short period of time in a pinch. Headroom isn't too bad. Pretty good in the Explorer. So space behind the 3rd row looks pretty good. It's a carryover from the 2024 model. I actually like the space that's kind of hidden under here, so you can hide some items away if you're worried about them getting stolen and you want to hide them away, or just extra space for groceries so they don't bang around.
So one of the big differences with an Explorer versus many of its competitors is the fact that this runs on a rear-wheel drive platform. So that's why in the United States the base models are rear-wheel drive, and then you can add all-wheel drive. Most utilities in this size have a front-wheel drive, and then you get the all-wheel drive. So it does give it a different driving characteristic, especially if you get the higher performance ST model.
So for 2025, Ford has increased the price. Not surprising there, you're getting so many more features, including those larger screens. And I gotta say, the soft touch materials in this vehicle, much nicer than the hard plastic. We're gonna put all the pricing on the screen for you for Canada and the US. You can pause and take a look. So when does it hit dealerships? Well, you can pick up your refreshed Explorer in the summer.
All right, thanks for watching.
See you next time.